open transition lanes, they're really difficult to stop. So if they can figure out a way to limit those turnovers, get those extra possessions, maximize rebounds, and turn those into buckets, they're in good shape. And then lastly, they've got it. We know Jordan Eaton. You know, we've talked about this several times. You can look down and third quarter, it feels like he's got 6 or 7 points. You look at the final scorebook and he's got 17 to 19 points. But who is the other guy going to be? That's the real question. Is it going to be Houston, who's played really well as of the last 2 or 3 weeks? Is it going to be a Sean Feltz off of the bench? Is it going to be a Phoenix McWillis, who sometimes is just instant offense? And so, you know, those 3 things, if Crimson can rate 7, 8, 9s out of 10s on those, they're going to be in a really good position by the end of this game.
So let's hop on over to the Desert Hills side of things. And what are the keys here for the Thunder?
Well, we saw earlier that against Dixie, that this Desert Hills team's had 14 or 15 threes against them and lost a heartbreaker earlier in the season. They need to make threes. So if this team comes out tonight and only gets 2 or 3 of them, it could be tough sledding for most of the game. But if this team can come out and get 7 or 8 threes, they're always in a good position, and I probably like the chances if they can get around that number. And then defensive rebounding. They've got to keep the Phoenix McWillis, the Houston Johnsons, the Jordan Eatons off of the offensive glass, and so they can get out into transition where they're also deadly. And then you talk about balanced scoring. In that earlier game against Crimson, they only had 3 guys score and only 1 in double figures. That's not enough in Region 10.
Absolutely. Well, as we wrap up the Findlay Subaru pregame show, we thank you for joining us here on the radio or on the fansportsnetwork.com, where you're watching this game live. We are going to step aside for a moment as we respect the colors for the national anthem here from Desert Hills High School. So stick around, and we'll be back after these messages for tip-off.
For over 65 years, we've been part of your community, and we work to make a difference for every member, every day. And while our name is changing, our commitment to you is not. Find out how it's getting even better here. Welcome to You First. Visit us at youfirstcu.com.
I'll come back to you when we're ready.
Hey everybody, Jason Baum here with Bay Equity Home Loans. Give me a call. Let's get you truly educated on what's really going on and how you can take advantage of this current market.
Bay Equity LLC, NMLS 76988 and 12526390, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Fabulous Freddy's always keeps your car fabulous. Only full-service car wash in town. Voted best of Southern Utah. Stop by Bluff or River Road for detail services like shampoos or waxes. Don't forget, with every wash, get 10 cents off per gallon of gas at Fabulous Freddy's.
Findlay Subaru is a proud sponsor of Region 10 basketball. They work hard to be active in the community and have received the 2022 Subaru Love Promise Customer and Community Commitment Award. Come reserve your new Subaru at Findlay Subaru on the saving side of the freeway or FindlaySubaru.com.
Morgan Pest Control has been killing what bugs you since 1962. Morgan continues to give back to the community with the 60 for Schools program. You can call 673-9172 or go to morganpestcontrol.com and just look for their red trucks. Rally Stop in Cedar City is proud to support Region 10 athletics. Rally Stop reminds you that after cheering on your favorite team, there's no better place to refuel than Rally Stop. Rally Stop, swing on in today.
Buckle up, Southern Utah High School hoop fans. Craig Bullerjack here, reminding you to head to Yogurtland when your team scores 55 points or more. Ask for the Holbrook Asphalt Big Score Dessert. Holbrook Asphalt pays for it, and I'll see you there.
When Bose Auto Parts started, they wondered what would make them stand out from the competition. They came up with customer experience. If you want a knowledgeable and friendly staff, come by Bose Auto Parts, proud sponsor of Region 10 and Utah Tech University basketball.
Looking for a place to let the kids run wild? Host a birthday party? House of Jump has got you covered. Plenty of trampolines, head-to-head games, and inflatables. Jump in or book online at houseofjump.com. When you hear the dunk of the game, text DUNK to 833-644-2423 for 1 hour free jump time.
Morgan Pest Control has been killing what bugs you since 1962. Morgan continues to give back to the community with the 60 for Schools program. You can call 673-9172 or go to morganpestcontrol.com and just look for their red trucks.
Hi, this is Luke with Udine Associates, your local insurance agency. We at Udine Associates have the backing of American Family Insurance and works in Southern Utah. We are your neighbors. We want to help. Give us a call today for a free insurance review to make sure you are properly protected. Call Udine Associates.
Coming up shortly, tonight's starting lineups brought to you by House of Jump. Ben, if we get any big dunks tonight as well, that's something we're going to be looking out for. Dunks mean 1 hour free jump time at House of Dunk. We'll give you that number and what to text if and when that happens. Hopefully we see one tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you got a guy like Houston Johnson, you got a guy like Big Sean Phelps, and then Phoenix McWillis, who had a massive dunk at home against Snow Canyon last Friday night.
Starting lineup for the visiting Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. Coming out, number 2, Scoop Johnson. Number 10, Jordan Eaton. Number 11, Phoenix McWillis. Number 13, Still Barban. And 31, Houston Johnson. Turn on the AC/DC. It's Thunderstruck here at the Thunderdome.
They got Thor's hammer. They got Mark, the voice you know, Musgrave behind the mic. They've got the lights out, the highlight video going. It's a home game in the Thunderdome, Caden.
It's big time here at Desert Hills High School and all across Region 10 tonight. And we're going to be bringing you Region 10 scoring updates brought to you by Nets on Fire as well. So stay tuned for those. Hopping into the Desert Hills Thunder starting lineups. Coming in, number 1 is Chomp Jones. Number 4, Eli Allred. Number 13, Landon Esplin. Number 24, Lincoln Holmes, and number 45, Boston Holbrook.
Got a lot of experience on this Desert Hills team. You know, guys like Boston Holbrook and Lincoln Holmes. You know, they've been career Desert Hills guys the last 3 years, and so this is the last time they're going to square off against Crimson at home, and this is a big night for those seniors especially.
Big night indeed as we wrap up the starting lineups, again brought to you by Udine Associates, your American Family Insurance agency here in St. George.
Big night tonight, Caden, as they circle it up at half court. I'll tell you what do you think about this spotlight that drops down? It's like, is that a company that just sells, hey look, we want to put a spotlight on an anchor to lower up and down for the starting lineups, or is that a wrestling spotlight?
They use it for wrestling as well.
Okay, all right.
It's meant for wrestling, and basketball says, well, that's pretty cool. Let's utilize it. Might as well, right? Jumping tonight for the Desert Hills Thunder, we have number 4, Eli Allred, and for the Mustangs, number 31, Houston Johnson. Mustangs wearing the red uniforms, Thunder in the white. Thunder working towards our right, and Mustangs working towards our left.
And you can already start to hear the crowd. Looks like a full house. They've got extra student section. There's so much student section tonight, they're up behind the basket too. And the ref says, hold on a second.
They said, let's wait. Let's redo this.
I don't know what
he went and talked to over towards McWillis and Esplin. So
okay.
But Houston Johnson wins the tip twice.
Once with the assist and the second time on himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up top, Scoop for 3, not good. Good box out there by Eli Allred to allow Chomp Jones to pick up the rebound. Up top is Allred. He's going to go right side. Esplin wide open 3, no good. Allred hopping on in for the offensive rebound, going baseline kick out. Jones for 3 and hits it. Chomp Jones, you first, credit union 3-pointer to get us started.
And it's a great drive baseline by Holmes. Skip pass over to Chomp, sets his feet, lets it fly. You love to see that early if you're Coach Allred.
Scoop taking it to the left side, going back up top with it. Thunder in a zone defense. Driving in is Phoenix, pulls up the mid-range and nails it.
And you get a sense for how versatile he is off of the dribble, Caden. He can go left, pop up, drift a little bit, and knock it down.
Long 2 from Esplin's no good. Rebounded by Johnson. Taking it the other way are the Mustangs. Spin move, Jordan Eaton off the glass and in.
And he gives the too small hand signal there as he spin cycles him. Great touch off the glass for the big fella, Jordan Eaton.
Holbrook up top. Swinging it around is Tom Jones. Jones drives in. Kicks out. Holbrook. Another kick to Jones. Already made 1 3. In and out on the next one. No good. And going the other way with it are the Mustangs. Tipped by Jones out of bounds. Mustangs retain it.
And it looks like we're back up and running. Looks like we're going to be able to get our live stream going. So if you're in the car headed out to dinner or something like that, put your phone, stream the Fan Sports Network under the table so your wife can't. Well, never mind. I shouldn't. That's bad advice.
It's not Valentine's Day yet. They're not out to those special dinners.
That's right.
Inside pass tipped away, and the Thunder get it back from the Mustangs. Going the other way, Allred. Hands off to Esplin. Back up top, Allred. Still Barbin gets in there on defense to block it up. Spinning is Holbrook. Nowhere to go. And a 3 in the key is the call. It'll be Mustang ball.
Maybe a little bit of a quick one, but it'll be interesting, Caden. We've seen some different styles of officiating this year. It seemed like for that first half of the region season, it was, man, a lot of fouls were called, a lot of slowing the game down. Now they've kind of let them play a little bit. So this will really be interesting to see how the game's called tonight.
Into the corner, Barbin. Back up top. Swinging it around is Mick Willis inside to Jordan Eaton. Houston Johnson, 3 off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound Holbrook, Thunder. Take possession the other way, into the corner, tipped away by Scoop Johnson.
And you can see a little bit of what we've talked about in that pregame about the turnovers, right? We've already seen some quick ones, and I know that frustrates a coach, any coach. Those are just wasted possessions, and so you just tell your team, settle in on the road, limit the turnovers, let's get good shots.
Eli Allred in the right corner, goes up top, drives in on Barbin. Mid-range 5-footer, bounces around and in.
And Eli, he does a great job of getting into the paint and elevating on his jump shot. One of the best guys in the region at that mid-range jumper where he can elevate and put it up and in.
And one call as well. The foul goes against Phoenix McWillis, his first, and the first foul we've seen tonight. And Eli Allred drains it for the 3-point play.
Our first Fabulous Freddy's free throw.
That's right. Fabulous Freddy's find him 2 locations in southern Utah. Ball on the ground, body's on the ground, but going quickly is Scoop. He goes up with it and he travels.
It was one of the keys to the game, these turnovers. You can see how great the team defense of Crimson is. Where they get into trouble is just those meaningless kind of giveaway possessions where, you know, every coach will say, come to a jump stop, either let him fly by or jump stop and kick it to the trailing guy.
Stolen away, Scoop Johnson over to Houston Johnson, going up off the glass, and a charge. Offensive foul is the call. Here's the...
Let's look at the replay on this.
No, replay wasn't quite there.
We'll get the next one.
We'll get him on the next one. We got to thank Cody over here for producing for us here tonight.
We got Cody in the production truck. We got Rory back in the studio, and that might be one that the officials are grateful that we didn't get the replay on.
Yeah, that's probably true. We might have called them out on it a little bit. Off the leg of Chomp Jones, out of bounds.
And, you know, look, we've talked about it all season. At every stage of basketball, the block charge is the hardest call for an official to make. But so far, I like the way the officials are calling the game. They're letting them play a little bit. Nobody wants to be here and watch, 40 fouls called.
Jordan Eaton drives in, spins out. McWillis in the corner, 3, no good. Rebound, Esplin.
So far, Desert Hill's done a great job on the block. And
3, no good off the front of the rim by Lincoln Holmes. His first shot of the night, too, for the leading scorer for the Thunder. On the other side, Jordan Eaton. U First Credit Union 3-pointer. He's got 5. That puts the Mustangs in the lead 7-6 with 4:24 left on the clock in the first quarter. Driving in, Eli Allred, too easy off the glass.
He's one of those rare kids that can go to his left. It's not necessarily a weakness. A lot of kids are so predominantly right-handed. but he's got a great left hand and a great finish there by Allred. I'll tell you, this is what we've talked about with Jordan Eaton, though. It's like, well, has he scored already? Boom, he's got 5. Got 5 of their 7, and he is a guy you do not want to let get into a rhythm.
Absolutely. A couple of substitutions coming off the bench for Desert Hills. Number 3, Taven Mortensen, and number 11, Jackson Holman into the game, as well as number 5, Ty Addig. Some big substitutions there for the Thunder.
Well, it'll be something to watch, Caden, to see how many subs. Oh, look at this. Jordan Eaton puts it up with a butterfly with sore feet on the front of the rim as it dribbles in. And he's got 8 of their 10.
Up top, swinging it around, Addig. Getting it down low to Eaton. And a foul's going to come against Scoop Johnson.
And you can already see what their Desert Hills is trying to do. They sense a little bit of a mismatch with Holmes and Scoop Johnson guarding him. And Holmes has a great post game. So look to see a couple of those post-up options from their play calling.
Off the inbound Thunder. It's tipped away by Johnson. Fast break. Lays it in for an easy 2.
Great on-ball defense against a guy who just came in the game and I think he's a junior.
Down low going around to the left side. It's Mortensen. Gets it to Holbrook. Holbrook down low going against Houston Johnson. Kicked out into the corners, Mortensen. He drives in, turns around, kicks out again. Holbrook finds a way inside, off the glass, scoops it in.
A great move by Holbrook. He has great footwork, a great jab step, and a great use of the left hand. You always love to see a high school player be able to finish with their left.
In the corner, it's still Barbin for 3, no good. The rebound brought in by the Thunder. Jackson Holman kicks over to Addig. Addig takes it to the right side, goes up top to Lincoln Holmes. Holmes drives in. Floater from 3 feet out, not there. Phoenix McWillis on the rebound.
And look, people watching at home in the crowd, they might say, oh, call a foul, call a foul. I'm okay with that. Neither of those plays really decided the outcome of that section there. So I like not calling that.
Houston Johnson, nowhere to go with it, kicks out to McWillis. He pulls the 3. No good. Too hard off the back of the iron, rebounded by Mortensen, kicks it out to Holmes. Holmes pulls the 3 on the other end and drains the U First Credit Union 3-pointer. Here's a Holbrook Asphalt replay.
Great shot by Holmes. He's a guy that if he can square his shoulders, he has such a great release.
On the other end, Jordan Eaton gets his own rebound.
And Jordan Eaton has 10 of their 14, Caden. That's really the story of the first quarter so far for Crimson.
And he picks up his first foul with a little bit of a bump against Boston Holbrook.
Yeah, Holbrook dribbles left, tries to come back to his right, puts it down a little bit low. Eaton says, I'll take that, or at least get a hand on it. And I think he expected to look up and have the ref give 2 thumbs up for a jump ball. Crimson, something to watch here, Caden. They've gone to the bench and brought in Big Sean Feltz and Jay Sweeten. These are guys that I know Coach Fairborn's looking for a little bit of a spark.
Well, Sean Feltz has played some good minutes through region play, so see what he does here tonight. Going up top, it's Lincoln Holmes driving in on Eaton. He gets the lane, and it's off the glass for 2.
And it's funny what one foul can do. You know, you could tell Jordan didn't want to pick up a second foul there on a cheap drive. Also, what's been interesting, Caden, is that you know, we talked about the offensive rebounding for Crimson. Desert Hills has done a great job of finishing defensive possessions with boxing out and securing the ball.
Inside, kicked out. It's Eaton for 3. No good. Feltz going over the top. He's going to pick up the foul.
Sometimes, Caden, being a big guy, it's hard to play against little guys. And you're probably listening to me like, well, Ben, how can that be? But the reality is sometimes those little guys, they just get you in positions you're not used to. You'd almost rather be going against a similar-sized player as opposed to having to fight the little guy.
Especially on that, on the rebounds and things like that, like we pointed out, where it's an over-the-back call just because he's so tall. It's an easy way to reach over, but it is the right call, right?
Yeah, very true.
Esplin on the right side, goes up top to Holmes. 57 seconds as Holmes drives in. No shot on the foul. It'll be taken back down to the floor.
And you can see a scorer like Lincoln Holmes, he gets that 3 to go in. And you just kind of start to get a taste, you know, you start to want to drive every time and attack every time. You get more and more confidence as you watch the ball go through the hoop. And he just looks different than the first game that they played against Crimson tonight.
15-14, Thunder with the slight lead. Holbrook with ball up top, 50 seconds left in the first. Eli Allred pump fakes the 3. Puts the ball on the ground, dribbles out of it. Tipped away by Eaton. Body's on the ground, fighting for it. It's a jump ball.
And I hope this one they call a jump ball, because that's just a great effort by both teams of going after it.
Now the jump ball possession went to Crimson to start the game, so Thunder hold on to it.
Okay, I like it. See, that's what I'm talking about with the officiating. That's one where an overzealous official could call a defensive foul there or an offensive foul there, and instead just let the guys go for it and call the jump.
Holbrook straightaway 3, no good. Rebounded and thrown out. Good play there by Esplin. Get the ball out to Boston Holbrook. He resets. Shot clock turned off. 18 seconds left to go in the first. Holbrook with 10 to go. Drives in. Spins out. Allred goes up and loses the ball. Does he say they lose the ball out of bounds or a foul? They're just going to say he lost the ball out of bounds, and it'll be Mustang basketball.
Yeah, and what I don't like there is the little bit of the flop. And you can see the officials are coming in. They're going to separate Jordan. They're going to separate Allred. Coach Holbrook's up there saying, come on now. Come on, call that T. But
it's something we're going to be watching for tonight, because Jordan Eaton's playing with a lot of aggression, and I think it's getting to the Thunder a little bit.
Yeah, and you know, you look up at the fouls right now, it's 6-1. If you're Crimson, you're sitting here being like, well, you know, first quarter, we already have the 2 fouls. Come on,
and
Blue.
There's a foul now to the Thunder. It's number 3, Taven Mortensen, picking it up. And this is another one of those scenarios where maybe it's okay to be the big guy, because the small guy's trying to reach in on that pass. Phelps is just going for the ball.
Yeah, it helped him there. That's a great pass down court. Obviously a designed home run play. We call those home runs because at the end of the game, when you're trying to pull a home run off, limited clock. And I think
Phelps on the catch and shoot on the inbounds, no good.
That's a shot he's made all year. He's got such a quick left shoulder turnaround jumper.
End of the first quarter, 15-14, Thunder with a slight lead. Heading into the second here on the Fan Sports Network. 45-second break. We'll be back after this.
Utah is growing, and we're growing too. What started on the U of U campus has grown to over 110,000 members with 20 locations, and we're ready to meet even more of you. More than a campus or a branch, we are Utah's teachers, businesses, and families. For over 65 years, we've been part of your community, and while our name is changing, our commitment to you is not. University Credit Union is now You First Credit Union. See why it's getting even better here. Welcome to You First.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
The fans have shown up tonight, Ben, here at the Thunderdome. We got ourselves a ball game, 15-14, but not the only close ball game. An update brought to you by Nets on Fire. Snow Canyon, halfway through the second quarter, they're up 27-26 on Cedar. It's a close one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that at Cedar?
That's at Cedar.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I was just up there Wednesday night. That band is the best band in high school.
Bar none. Bar none.
Ever. And that is such a tough place to play. They shoot it a little better up there, because Cedar does. And Snow Canyon may have themselves in a dogfight.
There's a steal, leads to some offense. Landon Esplin getting the first points of the second quarter.
Well, what's interesting, Caden, is that at the end of 4 quarters last time these teams matched up, it was a 1-point Crimson lead. And after our first quarter, it's a Desert Hills 1-point lead. I think this is going to be what we're going to see all night, is a back-and-forth battle.
Into the corner, Jordan Eaton drives baseline. Step out of it. Shot goes up, and it's no good. Rebounded by Allred, bringing it the other way. Allred to Jones, crossing it to Esplin. Esplin back to Jones up top. Chomp swings it to Holbrook. Holbrook drives in on Feltz, spins. Long arm off the glass, it's good.
Great footwork by Holbrook. He puts Big Sean in the spin cycle, comes back to the right, lays it off the glass.
Into the corners, Jordan Eaton on the right side. He's looking to go back up top. Jay Sweeten swinging it around. In the corner, scoop down low, Feltz. Feltz puts down a dribble. The shot goes up, no good. Tipped and out of bounds. It will stay Mustang basketball.
And that's one where, you know, Feltz is only a junior, so we like to give him a little bit of grace. But that's one where you've got the size advantage. Reverse pivot, square up, give him a little bit of a shot fake. You have the advantage. I always like to say, if you have the ball, you should be able to dictate what the defender's doing. Ball fakes, shot fakes, jab steps.
Going down low, Houston Johnson spins around off the rim, no good. Gets the offensive board and goes back up with it, still no good. And the Thunder take it the other way.
And you can see how hard Desert Hills is trying to block out. They know that they have to limit those offensive rebounds from Crimson.
It's turnover, stolen away by Drake Carroll. A little bit of an errant pass from the Thunder, puts the ball right in Carroll's hands, and they reset. He drives in, floats it up, not there. Carroll, it hits the ball, or the ball hits him as he's trying to get back in bounds, so they'll call it out of bounds, and it will be Thunder basketball.
Well, it looks like Carroll didn't know if he wanted to float it or lay it off the glass, and he got caught in between both.
19-14 Thunder lead. Catching up by the foul line is Esplin. He hands off to Holmes. Holmes drives, spins again, backs it back out. Going in hard to the glass, goes up strong, and is fouled by Jordan Eaton. And again, Jordan Eaton and Esplin have some words for each other.
Yeah, Jordan's an energy guy, and I was just going to say, Caden, do you think you pull Eaton out here? And it looks like Scoop has run over to the scorer's table, and we'll probably see Jordan Eaton take a seat with 10 of Crimson's 14 as we have a 19-14 Desert Hills lead with just a tick under 6 minutes.
Make it 20 points for the Thunder on the made fabulous Freddie free throw.
So far, a great game, back and forth. You know, this Crimson team, we've said it all year, they just won't allow themselves to get too far out of a game. And even with Desert Hills with the, well, now a 7-point or 7-point lead here, 21-14. I don't think anybody's getting away from anybody in this first half.
Carroll takes the inbound pass off the other made free throw, 21-14, into the corner, bringing it back up top. Driving in, Scoop, spins, drains it on the spin move and fadeaway jumper.
Great job. I like anytime a player squares their shoulders, they've got a great chance of knocking it down.
Chomp Jones swinging around left side, Allred. Allred down low, spinning baseline, going up, blocked by Phoenix McWillis.
And I know Holmes is looking at the official for some help, but that's just great defense. And he's gotten a couple of those calls already, so I think it's one where you just go to the ref and say, hey, no worries.
Getting ready to inbound the ball, Eli Allred for the Thunder. Gets it in to Esplin, goes back to Allred. Allred picked up by Johnson, swinging it around outside. Holbrook. Up top, looking for somewhere to go, gets it to Jones. Jones gets it back to Holmes. Holmes drives in on Scoop, has the lane, goes up strong, is fouled. No good on the shot, but we'll go to the line to shoot two.
Basketball fans, kids at home, I don't know if we'll get a chance to watch the replay here, but one of the things that Lincoln Holmes does so well is on offense, if you can stand a guy up, right, or attack a lead foot, what he does is he gets up, watches the defender stand up, and then he goes low and goes by him. So he does such a great work at those jab steps. Anytime you can get a defender to either move or to stand up, that's a green light to attack.
First free throw is no good from Lincoln Holmes. Has a chance for another one. A couple substitutions. Taven Mortensen back into the game along with Jackson Holman and Ty Addig. And the second one is good. Lincoln Holmes now with 8.
And I think we've seen so far, both coaches are not afraid to go 7, 8, maybe even 9 players deep.
McWillis step inside the three-pointer is good for 2.
He does such a good job of creating, maybe one of the best in the region. Now, sometimes you go, whoa, please don't. And other times you go, okay, that looks like it's exactly what he hoped for.
Mortensen went baseline with it. They picked up the travel call. I don't know if the ball was in his hands long enough for that to be a travel, but they give it to him anyways. That's one of those situations where maybe you put the ball on the ground just to be safe, but instead the travel call comes.
Well, 4-point game, 22-18. Desert Hills with just under 5 now in the second quarter. So far, we got a good one, Caden. No complaints here from the booth.
Not at all. Phoenix McWillis driving in, goes up, and he gets it to go. Strong shot by McWillis.
We talked about in the keys of the game who will be the second or third option. So far, it's Phoenix McWillis.
Yeah, he's got 6 tonight. 22-20, Thunder with that 2-point lead. And it's Holmes kicking out to Holbrook. Holbrook picked up by Carroll, drives in, spins it back, kicks out, 3, and it's in. You first credit union 3-pointer, Jackson Holman.
And Jackson Holman, I watched him in the JV game. He has a green light from every coach because he has such a smooth stroke.
Into the corner, back up top, Carroll to still Barbin. It's McWillis. McWillis drives and kicks. 14 on the shot clock.
And this is a little bit of an interesting lineup. Not one that we've seen for heavy minutes this year.
Still Barbin trying to find somewhere to go. 1 second on the shot. Gets it up is McWillis and has to throw something. It doesn't hit rim, so it'll be Thunder basketball. Good defensive play there by the Thunder on that possession.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Desert Hills so far on defense, but even above and beyond that's been their defensive rebound, and they have done an excellent job of keeping Crimson off the glass.
Ty Addig, the ball up by the Crimson bench, kicks it to Holbrook, swings down low to Holmes. Swinging it back to the left side, it's Holbrook. Takes the ball back up top, going up against Johnson. Kicks it out. 3, no good off the back of the rim from Holman, but an offensive board. It's Holbrook now for 3. Rattles the rim, no good. Rebound McWillis.
I think as a coach, you're probably happy with that shot. Great defense by Crimson of securing the ball. Can they score now is the question.
Driving baseline, Barbin. He looks to kick it. It tips off the fingertips of, I was gonna say, I thought it was off the fingertips of Sweeten, but
yeah, this one's
the officials are talking and they're saying, nope, it is Thunder basketball.
Yeah, that's the right call. I think Sweeten got in that's one of those drift plays where you go baseline and you have the weak side guy slide down into the corner and you drift with that one-arm slider pass. And I think Sweeten just got a hand in there before he could realize that it wasn't going to him.
Thunder. It's Chomp Jones. Going up top to Mortensen, right side. Esplin, he takes a step inside the 3, kicks back out to Holmes. Holmes drives, baseline, kick out. Allred, catch and shoot 3, drops it in. Eli Allred.
And that was almost a travel there by Carroll, but that was a great job of rotating there on defense, but it was just that one more pass.
Houston Johnson going strong to the rim. It's not there. Rebounded by the Thunder. Jones bringing it the other way. Slowing it down. Gets it to Allred. Allred brings it back up top.
And Caden, Crimson's got to be really careful right here. A big 3 could make this get a little dangerous.
Driving in is Lincoln Holmes. He goes up strong. He's fouled and 1. Lincoln Holmes.
And I don't know if we'll be able to pull that one up on replay, but you watch at home. Lincoln Holmes does such a good job of he'll go upright and then he'll jab. And if the defender just stays there, it's called a rocker step. You see if they go, you try and rock them. And if they come back, you just go right by them.
Lincoln Holmes on the and 1 free throw gets it to go.
And so far, a much different Desert Hills team than the first time they played at Crimson and had a difficulty scoring.
Desert Hills 31, and it's tipped out of bounds. 31-20.
Be interesting to see if Eaton comes in here with a minute and a half, or if you're Crimson, do you just let it get to halftime and hope that you can keep this about 9, 10, or 11?
Inbounding the ball is Barbin, trying to get into Johnson. Tipped away and stolen by Holmes. Holmes, 2-on-1, goes off the glass. And a foul against Jay Sweeten.
And for Crimson fans, you look up at the scoreboard and you see 9 team fouls versus 2. Think about that for a second. We've almost played 16 minutes of basketball, and there's 2 team fouls against Crimson. But what the difference is that Desert Hills is attacked so much, Caden.
Timeout on the floor. We'll keep it right here in this timeout. This timeout is brought to you by Cache Valley Bank. They're your financial outfitter. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Now, Ben, the Thunder up 31-20. Again, have gone on a little bit of a run here. Most of that has gone to Lincoln Holmes. He has 6 in this quarter, 11 so far tonight. A couple of threes as well. Eli Allred and Jackson Holman hitting some threes in this quarter to extend that lead. For Crimson Cliffs, they've got to get some extra scoring. So far, it's been Scoop and Phoenix in the second quarter alone.
Well, here's what's interesting. In that matchup against Crimson, Desert Hills had 3 guys score. Think about that. Tonight in the first half alone, they've had 6. But guess who's only had 3 guys score in the first half? It's Crimson. Right. So, Caden, the question is, are we seeing a little bit of a reversal where, you know, the struggles that Desert Hills had, are those now Crimson's in this matchup?
And I think you make a point there, right? The idea of you got to get more people involved. One of your keys to the game was who's your second or third guy. At this point, I think they're just desperate to have a second or third guy, maybe even a fourth, just to get any points.
Yeah, and they're going to need to score in the second half. 20 is not going to get it done against Desert Hills, who's coming off a game where they scored 92. Who knows? Desert Hills may be finding their stride here in the second half of the Region 10 season.
First end of the Fabulous Freddy's free throws is good from Holmes. The second one is up and also good.
And what scares me, if you're a Crimson fan or a coach, is seeing the ball go more and more through the hoop for Lincoln Holmes. He is a scorer, and the more confidence a guy like that can get, the more dangerous he becomes. As Steele Barbin gets caught in a little sandwich, a steel sandwich, saved by a foul. And if you're the ref, you're going, let's see if we can balance out this 10-3 team foul situation before halftime.
Chom Jones a little too aggressive on the trap. Picks up his first foul. Drake Carroll into Sweeten, and a little hand check foul by Taven Mortensen.
And as if we've seen it before,
the evening out begins.
Suddenly it's now 4-10, and I wouldn't be surprised in the final minute and 11 if they can find a way to get it to 6.
Let's see if your prediction's correct as the inbound pass for the Mustangs comes in. It's tipped nearly by Mortensen, but hauling it in is Sweeten.
A couple of football players from Region 10 right there. Mortensen, of course, a standout at Desert Hills football, and Jay Sweeten as well for Crimson.
Mick Willis going inside is Johnson. Spinning around. It's blocked by Eli Allred. Into the corner, Allred drives baseline, kicks out, throws the ball away.
And look, one of the hardest jobs in sport is officiating, right? We had a pretty good angle. It looked like he got a little bit of a shove, but if this is the difference. When you've already called 10 and the other team has 4, those are the ones you go, probably can let that one go.
Yeah.
And again, I think they're probably going to call one more against Desert Hills, maybe only get to 5. But this is where you have to be aggressive. You got to know as a player, look up there and see that and think, okay, let me attack.
7 seconds separate shot clock and game clock. Up top with it, Houston Johnson finds a lane, tries to drive, has nowhere to go. Kicks out. It's Sweeten looking for Carroll, and the foul is called. There it is.
Well, that was a call that wasn't really in the first half. But now we're at 5-10. It's starting to look a little more balanced. You get the coaches off your back. Looks like we have Brazel coming in. The first time we've seen him tonight, Caden. We actually saw him a little earlier over there. The first time these two teams matched up.
Yeah. Inbound is still Barbin. No good off the front of the rim. It's rebounded by Holmes.
And you got to be careful if you're Crimson here with 10 seconds. You don't want to get a foul. It's double bonus.
Lincoln Holmes pulls the deep three. It's blocked by Mick Willis. Nowhere to go with it, and Carroll on the runner on the other end. No good. That brings up the halftime score, 33-20. Thunder with the slight lead. I'll say slight. It feels slight. It's 13 points, but really the momentum has been shifting back and forth.
Absolutely. The funny thing is they scored 42, I think, or 43. I think it was
total. I want to say it was 42, 41, or 43,
and they
42,
almost made that total in the first half. So if you're Desert Hills, you're running in the locker room feeling like you've certainly got control of this game, and you certainly like what you're seeing in the balanced scoring.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take a break. When we come back, it's the Holbrook Asphalt, the Holbrook Asphalt replays, and bringing you our Rally Stop halftime show.
We got the Rally Stop. I wish we had one right outside.
I know.
Have a 44-ounce Mountain Dew and a bag of M&Ms.
That sounds wonderful to me. When we come back, Rally Stop halftime show next on the Fan Sports Network.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. Hearst General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org. Welcome into the Rally Stop halftime show here from Desert Hills High School, where the Thunder lead the Mustangs 33-20. Caden Formaster and Ben Lindquist on the broadcast here with you tonight. Ben, hopping into the Rally Stop halftime show, take this opportunity to thank Rally Stop. When it's time to refuel, think Rally Stop. Stop by for gas, refuel on treats and snacks, and get back on your way at Rally Stop.
Caden, we have so many great local sponsors. We have such a great community. High school basketball on Friday night, high school football in the fall on Friday nights. It's such a great place to live, and these sponsors make it possible for us to highlight these incredible students, the student body, and they're in full force tonight. We've got, it looks like neon night, or is this like
it's like construction worker night or something. Is what, I don't know, maybe it is neon, but
I see some construction vests.
Seen a lot of construction vests.
But as you look around, I don't see an empty seat. The ones you can see across the way are just all over here filming or watching the cheerleading and dancing. but it looks like standing room only. Exactly what you'd like to see for a crosstown rivalry on Friday night.
Especially in the student sections. Both student sections have filled up quite well, Crimson's and Desert Hills, and that's exactly what we like to see. Well, let's hop into our Rally Stop halftime show with some scoring updates. Those updates brought to you by Nets on Fire, your premier training facility here in Southern Utah for your athletes. Let's start. All of the games right now are fairly close. The game here tonight, being 33-20, is actually the biggest separation we have. Let's go up the road to Iron County, where it is a 1-point lead by Cedar over Snow Canyon at halftime.
Interesting.
A bit of a shocker, I would actually say.
I don't know what it is about up there in Cedar in the Wolf's Den, but I'll tell you what. The band is worth the price of admission there.
That's true.
They are an extra couple of points in home court advantage. That one surprises me a little bit, but it also could be said that after Crimson beats them by 30 at home, it was an interesting couple days for that team up there, for them to come back and say, okay, we're not going to get beat like that again, and give it to maybe Snow Canyon on their home court.
Yeah. Owen Mackey with 17 right now, leading all scorers over there. So now over to the Hangar. Dixie has a lead at half of 22-17. A low-scoring affair over there at the Hangar tonight.
Again, we've talked about it in pregame. We've talked about it all year. Dixie is getting everybody's best. And again, Caden, the second time through the region, you can see and make adjustments if you're these teams and you're used to the matchup a little bit more than the first time around. And so who knows? I think, if, Dixie, I'm impressed. Coach Eves always does a good job of making sure his teams play hard. They're undersized compared to a guy like Kyle Lemke and some of the other key guys at Dixie. But that's an interesting one to me. Who knows? We might get a couple upsets on the road.
We might. We'll keep updated on those scores tonight as these matchups go on. But let's revisit some of those Findlay Subaru keys to the game, shall we? Because a few of them have, I would say a few of them have come to pass a little bit. One of those, for me at least, was Desert Hills had to get more people involved. Last time they only had 3 people scoring. Well, they've done their job on that, because pretty much anyone that's touched the floor has found scoring tonight.
Well, I think as you look at these, you go, okay, flying colors for Desert Hills. 8 threes. I believe they have 3 threes. We got Lincoln Holmes. We've got Ty.
We had Jackson Holman, Eli Allred.
So there's 3 right there.
Yeah,
Chomp, there's 4.
He opened the game with a 3.
Okay, so I said, can they get 8 plus 3s? And they've got 4 in the first half, so check. Then you go to defensive rebounding. I don't think maybe they've got more than 1 offensive rebound for Crimson. So there's 2. And then you go to balanced scoring. Last time they had only 3 scorers. This time they've got 6. I would say 3 for 3 for the Desert Hills Thunder. And then you move over to Crimson. Dominate the paint? Not really. I don't think they've really been as dominating as they've been on other teams throughout their season. And then limit turnovers? No, they've turned it over too much. And then finally find the second and third option. You said this, Caden. Where is that second and third guy right now? You got Jordan Eden in foul trouble on the bench. He's got 10 of their 20 points. Phoenix has had a couple, but other than that, I don't know if there's a second. If it is, it's Phoenix. There's certainly not been a third.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Scoop has had 4 points tonight, but with 4 points in a 33-point to 20-point game, you need a little bit more than that. You need a little bit more than that to be considered the third scorer. So maybe they can make that turn around. I'd like to see Houston Johnson get a little bit more involved as well down low. Right now, let's be honest, Crimson has a bit of a size advantage, and they just have to use it to their advantage, of course. They did it against Pineview the other night. Remember, Houston Johnson had a great game against Pineview, where he just got the ball down low, he backed himself up on the block, spun around, made a couple shots, and it worked for him. If they can do that again against this aggressive Desert Hills team, I think it might work out in their favor.
Well, and this is why they play 2 halves, right? You can go in the locker room, you can make the adjustments. Crimson has done exceptionally well all season long of making adjustments at halftime. And if you're Desert Hills, you're saying, look, guys, more of the same. Let's keep going to what's working for us. Great ball movement, attacking. Certainly the next time they see Eaton come out on the perimeter, if I'm Lincoln Holmes, if I'm a Boston Holbrook, if I'm an Eli Aldred, I'm attacking Jordan Eaton as much as I possibly can because he is in foul trouble, and that is just going to be a difficulty for him in the second half because he is such an aggressive player.
And that is a big question coming in the next half is, can Jordan Eaton stay out of foul trouble? Can he continue with being aggressive out there, but taking that bit of aggression and putting it towards making something happen, right? Getting points on the board, defensive turnovers, things like that, see what he can do with it. But we'll take another quick break here. When we come back, more Rally Stop Halftime Show in 1 minute here on the Fan Sports Network.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Stihl. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
Back inside the Rally Stop Halftime Show as we get ready for the third quarter coming up here shortly. Now, just a reminder, Ben, tonight it is state drill competition. None of the drill teams here performing tonight for Southern Utah. They're up at UVU performing at state drill, and they have yet to have any winners announced yet, so we have no updates on that. But if we get anything before the end of the night, we'll let you know.
Well, and that talk about some anxious parents tonight. Of course, we know the Dixie Jetettes. They've won 2 state championships in a row, I believe.
I believe so, yeah.
And Desert Hills, their Tempest line, has always competed. I believe Crimson does really well. The E-Shells out of Snow Canyon. We talk about high school basketball, Caden. The dance world is ultra competitive.
Yeah, it is. It is extremely competitive. So best of luck to them tonight. I
think we've got some updates on the Fan and, of course, St. George News. We've got those on the site right now. I think you can stream it live as well.
Yep, you can go stream live over on the Fan Sports Network, so go check that out online. And we did get updates, too, from 3A and 2A, some local schools. Canyon View.
Okay.
The Talons, they took state for 3A.
Yeah, Kanab, I think.
Kanab took second at state to South Sevier. They took first for 2A, so congrats to those 2 schools. And our Southern Utah schools here in Region 10, we'll see what they can pull up.
A quick Nets on Fire update, 41-41 with 2:38 in the third quarter up in the Wolf's Den, up in Cedar City with Snow Canyon and Cedar.
Very good. Yeah, this is quite the game up there. We'll keep our tabs on that one. Heading into the third quarter.
Looks like no changes in terms of starting lineups. Desert Hills will start with the ball up 33-20, Caden. Should be a great second half.
Should be a good one. This second half brought to you by Jason Baum with Bay Equity. Head on over to baumloans.com. That's BAUMLOANS.
BaumSquad.com.
Talk to him for all of your loan needs. Thunder have it. Chom Jones, he drives baseline, get things started, goes to Esplin, who kicks out. Allred pulls the 3, no good. And a foul. It's going to go against Jordan Eaton.
And already the antics from both teams. Jordan Eaton saying, okay, as Chom Jones comes up, clapping his hands and being all excited about the second half.
Well, you can tell they're trying to push Jordan Eaton's buttons a little bit. They know he was feeling some aggression, and they're going to try to push the buttons.
Oh,
did we overturn the call here?
I love that right there. They both came and they just patted each other on the side. You know, I love that competitive spirit when at the end of it, you can still
this is fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. I love to see that caliber of character.
Driving baseline, still Barbin. Loses it and slips to the ground.
Looks like we'll get
a jump ball call.
Goes back to Crimson here. I think Still's going, I've been hit harder than that in football, and they call roughing the passer on those types of plays.
Still Barban emerged as a really good quarterback this year as well. Corner 3 off the inbound is no good by Johnson, and an over-the-back call against Jordan Eaton will take the ball into the Thunder's hands.
I don't know if Coach Fairborn can afford to pull Jordan off of the floor, but you can see him reaching over there, tapping his temple, saying those are the cheap ones you can't give up when you've already got 2, now 3 fouls by Jordan Eaton.
Lincoln Holmes gets it over to Chomp Jones up top by the bench. Swinging it back around, it's Holbrook.
And it just feels, Caden, that Desert Hills has attacked the paint more than Crimson has, with the exception of that circle pirouetting jump shot by Eli Aldridge.
And the rebound goes into the hands of McWillis. And the Mustangs driving in. It's tipped away. Lincoln Holmes on the steal. Gets it into Allred off the glass and in.
And Allred was lucky right there. He kind of yelled right in the ear of Jordan Eaton.
And a blocking foul. It's going to go against Chomp Jones as Houston Johnson went up strong.
Like I said, Allred lucky that the ref didn't see him do that kind of thing after a play. Because in a game like this, those are easy calls for a tee. But you can see how high the emotions are between both teams. I don't know if it's that they don't like each other. I think it's just a classic high school rivalry where you want to get the best and have those bragging rights all season long. And there's also a lot of football players on both of these teams. Of course, that was a heated rivalry on the football field that was settled for a state championship the last game.
Second Fabulous Freddy's free throw missed by Houston Johnson, but Scoop picked it up.
Maybe only the second offensive rebound, Caden.
Coming off of a free throw, that's a big offensive board. Phoenix gets it inside to Johnson. Houston goes up strong. Off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound Scoop. Again, another offensive board.
And this is a little more of how Crimson scores as they crash the glass and get second chance opportunities.
McWillis goes up top to Eaton. Eaton drives and kicks back out. Phoenix for 3, no good. Rebounded by Holmes.
And this is a critical time right now. I know it's only the third quarter, but it's a 14-point game. This could make it 17. And it just feels like Crimson needs some momentum to stay alive.
Crimson in control of it. Scoop drives, puts on the brakes. 12-footer, no good.
And those are shots that they've made all season.
Boston Holbrook. What a circus shot that goes off the glass and in.
And I know Boston had, an off shooting night the first time they played. He certainly has had a different mindset tonight. And so you like to see him have a couple baskets drop. Does he have 8 on the night already?
He's got 6.
He's got 6, and all on little pirouetting,
up
and under
basket
style moves.
Yeah, he's heading into the paint and getting it done down there. A foul stops play there as Landon Esplin. And he picked up his 3rd foul, so that's another one of those foul watches as Jordan Eaton pulls the corner 3 off the front of the rim, no good. And it is thrown out off of the leg of Jackson Holman, and the Mustangs will remain in control.
It just feels like, when you're missing shots, every shot feels like there's more pressure that just builds and builds until it finally goes in. If Crimson can get a basket and just steady the ship, they'll be fine.
Mustangs going with a tall lineup, leaving Houston Johnson, and then Sean Feltz checks in. So a big lineup out there. Jordan Eaton pulls the 3 off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound Feltz. The ball stayed down on the Mustang side of the floor for quite a while with all these offensive boards.
And yeah, we talked about it at halftime, and they've come out and set a different tone. This is what I'm talking about. I actually really like this lineup with Houston and with big Sean Feltz and Jordan Eaton. But they've got to take their time when they get in the block. And sometimes it's not a shot. They're going to double a lot in those blocks. You got to look weak side for a guy basket cutting or just a skip pass to the weak side 3-point line.
And just like that, you have Landon Esplin and Taven Mortensen both with 3 fouls for the Thunder, even though they don't have a ton. Feltz off the inbound, drains it.
Now let's see, Caden, if that basket will take the lid off of the hoop for Crimson and they can get back into this game down 14.
Yep, 37-23. It's a kick out. Allred drives in on Eaton, puts on the brakes, goes back out to Holbrook, spins it. Addig, 3, you First Credit Union 3-pointer off the bench, Ty Addig.
Now our keys to the game was the magic number of 8 threes.
Stolen away by Eli Allred on the breakaway. Hands off to Holmes, goes up strong, and it's good. Lincoln Holmes off the glass for 2. And a timeout called by Crimson Cliffs. The momentum, just when you feel like maybe the Mustangs can make something happen, the Thunder literally steal it away. And a full timeout. We'll take a 30-second break when we return here on the Fan Sports Network.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by.
Away from the Bloomington Walmart, and stay tuned for the AWP Playmaker of the Game.
4:16 left to go in the third, but the Thunder have continued to extend that lead. It's 42-23.
I thought it would be a tight game, but if Crimson doesn't do something quickly, this could be a blowout. And who knows, you know, Desert Hills has started to play really good. They went through a really rough stretch where they lost 4 in a row, but Crimson has got to eliminate the turnovers. They've got to be able to knock down some shots. And one of the magic numbers we talked about in the keys to the game, those Finley keys to the game, were those 8 threes. They've got 5 so far, and they don't look like they're slowing down.
Well, we might be hopping into that Bo's Auto Parts crucial part of the game here for Crimson. They got to get some points on the board. Lincoln Holmes picks up a foul on the pass inside to Sean Feltz.
And it just feels like they need a little bit of momentum. Right now, it's just been all Desert Hills with the exception of the student section, who we're seeing the old "We Got Spirit" back and forth chant. Great turnout. That's where he's got to square up Caden and just size him up.
Into the corner, scoop. Gets it to Johnson up at the foul line. Takes a step in, spins, going up strong with it. Johnson gets his own rebound off the miss. Goes up strong again, off the glass, no good. Rebound, Allred.
And he probably did get bumped there, but it just looks like he's sped up a little too much. If he just take his time and realize he has the size advantage.
Up top is Holbrook, swinging across to Allred. Allred to Addig, swinging it now Holbrook, left side. Holbrook.
Careful here, Lincoln will size you up. See how he drops that and he just gets the defender to stand up.
And a kick out 3, Eli Allred, U First Credit Union 3-pointer. Eli Allred has 13.
And that's 6 threes. We talked about the magic number being 8. It might not even take that many.
45-23. Missed shot, rebounded by Holbrook. As Holmes drives in and kicks out Holbrook, open 3 off the front of the rim, no good. It's rebounded by Eaton. Jordan Eaton behind the back, drives in, kicks out to Johnson, back up top, scoop.
Still, I mean, plenty of time. There's 2.5 in the third, down 22. Shot clock will help a little bit in terms of being able to get back in.
A drive by Barbin. He finger rolls it.
Now that gets it to 20, Caden. I'd probably, if I'm Coach Fairborn right now, I'm thinking, okay, guys, can we get this down to 16, 15, and be able to manage that fourth quarter a little bit better?
Stolen away. Fast break. Scoop. Goes up with it. Rolls it in for 2.
Okay, there's 18. Just under 2 minutes, 45-27. See if they can get one more and make this an interesting fourth quarter.
Trying to pass it outside. It's tipped away, and Holmes remains in possession of it. Holmes kicks over to Holbrook. Holbrook drives, has the open lane, off the glass and in. Again, Boston Holbrook getting it done down low.
And it looks like they've called either a delay. Is it a delay a game? I believe it's a delay a game. They've told Boston Holbrook, leave the ball alone, even after a great play like that, young fella.
Just don't touch it. Don't touch it.
But I'll tell you what, he's been the difference maker tonight alongside Lincoln Holmes' attacking style of driving and kicking and firing up the threes. Boston Holbrook has been a difference maker tonight.
And again, he has 8. He's just a basket away from reaching double digits. Scoop Johnson brings it across the timeline. 1:21 left to go in the third quarter. 47-27. He'll take the straightaway 3 off the front of the board. Rim no good. Boards go to Houston Johnson. Phoenix from the elbow. Gets it to go on fadeaway.
He makes such difficult shots. And all set up by Houston Johnson's offensive rebounding in the second half. It's look, it's 18, just under 1 minute. A stop here and a basket, maybe a 3. That gets it to 16 or 15 like we talked about.
Driving in is Holmes. He goes up with it, no good. Rebound Taylor. Trevor Taylor just checks into the game. Phoenix McWillis now going up against Ty Addick. Bounces it off his own leg. And Esplin sneaks in, goes up off the glass, blocked by McWillis. On the other side, it's Feltz. Defense leading to offense. Sean Feltz.
Now that gets it to 16. This last possession is crucial to get some momentum for the fourth quarter. If they can go into 16, I think in that huddle you tell each other, we got this. We're not out of this yet.
10 seconds on the clock. Lincoln Holmes loses it. He's going to try to let it go, and it rolls into the hands of Scoop. Sean Feltz on the other side. The stutter step. And they called the travel.
It's the right call.
It was the right call, but I thought it might have come a second too late. But
well, better late than never.
Yeah.
But, you know, that would have been intriguing. That makes it 14, and suddenly Desert Hills looks a little off kilter.
A little bit. Now we'll see what happens here as the end of the quarter comes around, because again, the travel happened before the clock hit 0. Or are they just going to say, hey, let's go to the third quarter? I guess they're going to say, let's just go to the third quarter. Yeah. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. We'll be back with the fourth quarter when we come back here on the Fan Sports Network.
Hey, it's Luke with Udine Associates at American Family Insurance. At Udine Associates, we love insurance so you don't have to. With a quick call, we can get you an instant quote with the right coverages. My team of licensed agents are ready to help you with better insurance from American Family. Give us a call at 435-251-9100.
Bold statements to subtle compliments. As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Welcome back.
Okay, it looks like Cody can wind it back a little bit and show us that last possession. We're going to see if we can pull up the replay. Well, when we just get the tail end of it, but I think there was just a few minutes of time left.
Yeah, I'm not sure what time was on the clock, but
yeah, okay, well.
Either way, we're back into it here starting the fourth. And the officials need to update the scoreboard over there to the fourth quarter. They still have it marked as the third, but that's all right. We know where we're at.
We'll stay for one more.
Houston Johnson on the left side swinging around. It's Phoenix McWillis trying to get it down low. Out of bounds is the call off of the Mustangs. Thunder basketball.
That's a tough ball for a big man to catch down low like that. What I'd like to see, though, is some block to block. And I like it with a guard to a big or a big to a big, because right now they're doubling that post. And so if you can get some screen action, you can put the defense on the heels a little bit and get them on your back.
Chom Jones with the ball up on the right side. Drives in on McWillis, and an offensive foul. They're going to get Chom Jones for putting that forearm on Phoenix. Phoenix hits the deck.
And other than that first half three to kind of get the Thunder rolling, Jump hasn't had much, but everyone else has seemed to fill in as we go 47-31, Caden, 7.5 left. I don't know. What do you feel like here? Are we going to get a close one, or is this going to slip away?
At this point, the Thunder have they would have to really slip this lead.
Yeah, it's theirs to lose right now.
Inside is Taylor.
A little bit of a rush shot there. It's always hard to come in off the bench when you haven't played in the first half
and getting varsity minutes when you don't get a bunch. You want to make the best of it, and sometimes that can lead to a little bit of anxiety. Shots going up. Holbrook over to Mortensen.
The Crimson's gotten the stops here in the last couple of minutes. This is where the shot clock is your friend right now if you're Crimson.
Kick out, corner three, Taven Mortensen rattles around, no good. It's rebounded by Allred. Eli Allred backs it back out. The Thunder right now, they know they have the lead. And what is the call as Lincoln Holmes takes the drive. Here's the Holbrook Asphalt replay. Drives in baseline off the glass and in for two. And he will head to the line for the fabulous Freddy's free throw.
And it was all set up by an offensive rebound by Eli Allred. But the problem there is you can't help. When you got Sean Phelps guarding such a small guy like Boston, you just got him by a foot. There's no reason to help down if you're Phoenix in the corner, because that set up a chain reaction that set up the offensive rebound. And so if you're trying to get back into a game, offensive rebounds are a rally killer.
Headed to the line.
Our fabulous Freddy's free throws. We've had a few of them tonight.
We've got a few tonight, yep. And he gets it. 3-point play by Lincoln Holmes, who has 18 points tonight. 5 points away from that Holbrook Asphalt big score dessert. If the Thunder can reach that 55-point mark, then you get your first 5 ounces free at Yogurtland tonight after the game. Up top with it, Mick Willis swings it to Eaton. The Thunder have ran this zone defense quite a lot as Mick Willis drives in and goes off the glass.
And I think it's safe to say he's been that second guy for Crimson. It's the third guy that has kind of been missing. And if they don't find some help quick, because it's a 17-point game with under 6 now, Desert Hills is going to get their home win here.
Nearly stolen away by Mick Willis. Esplin remains in possession of it. 14 on the shot clock. And a technical is the call. Is that what I'm seeing? To Phoenix.
And they called it on Phoenix, and this one really hurts. Let me tell you why, Caden. That was an offensive foul on Desert Hills.
It should have been, but Phoenix, I think he must have said something. I didn't see anything physical happen, but...
Oh, I'm sure he used a magic word. I mean, that usually, if we didn't see any elbows or anything else, it was probably a magic word. That's a backbreaker because Scoop was going to get that offensive foul. Now they're going to get free throws and the ball. It could be a 4 or 5 point swing and maybe the nail in the coffin.
Well, Lincoln Holmes does get the first free throw.
And I saw him clap, kind of, but that's, you can do that.
Yeah, they're not going to get you on that. Again, I think, like you said one of those magic words that the officials don't like to hear.
But what was interesting is, yeah, maybe a technical. Obviously, we can't hear it from up here, but it was clearly an offensive foul. It looked like that was at the same moment.
Well, and that's what I thought the foul call was, but
yeah, it was.
The official had other ideas. Taven Mortensen takes it up top, swings it to Esplin. Going around the horn, it's Holbrook getting the pick from Holmes. He'll drive. Nowhere to go, kick back out to Holmes, and Holmes takes a step inside. Crimson blocking those lanes, and a stolen ball by Mick Willis. Mick Willis on the step back three. Drains it, Phoenix. Mick Willis for the U First Credit Union.
He's got to be careful. He's obviously excited about the shot, but one more tee and he's in the locker room for the night. And you got to control your emotions at this point if you're trying to get back into the game.
Especially right now as one of the leading scorers of this game for the Mustangs. Driving in is Holmes. He floats it up for two. Lincoln Holmes with 17. Or excuse me, he's got more than 17. Let's put him at 22, shall we? On the other end, it's Houston Johnson getting the offensive board and the putback.
6-point game with just over 4.5. Might not be over yet, and it looks like we might be able to get a game if we can get some stops by Crimson and a couple baskets. But other than that, it's been all Desert Hills.
On that guy right there, Lincoln Holmes, who has to throw it out, and Houston Johnson again, go ahead, Ben.
Well, you just have to understand that all Desert Hills has to do is touch the ball, and it's an over and back.
And Houston Johnson going for it again, picks up a foul as he reaches over the top of Boston Holbrook.
And I just, in a game like this, I think you probably let that one go.
I say just let the ball go until Holbrook touches it. You don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, I still expected, even though it looked like he was over the back, I expected the ref to call over and back there, not a foul.
Yeah. Up top, it's Mortensen, pulls the three, gets it to go. Taven Mortensen gets his first points of the game, and a U First Credit Union three-pointer and a timeout.
And it might be our AWP playmaker play of the game, as that gets us, I think, to 7 threes.
It does, and it also gets us the Holbrook Asphalt big score dessert. So that three not only was it big for the Thunder, it's big for you, where you can now go to Yogurtland and get 5 ounces free after the game, courtesy of Holbrook Asphalt. Just ask for the big score dessert. Again, a timeout here brought to you by Cache Valley Bank. Mountains await. We'll keep it right here at the Thunderdome with a score up on the Wilkinson's House Lighting scoreboard, 57-38. The Thunder said, hey, we're not doing what we did last time. We're not coming down to a 1-point game and a blocked shot. We're just going to put this one away early.
Yeah, we talked about it in the pregame, Cade, and I think Desert Hills feel like they let that one slip away. And you got to give it to them. From start to finish, or at least start to almost finish, they've been the aggressor, and they've checked every box for the keys of the game that we talked about.
Well,
but look, there's still time.
There's still time, but the Thunder have had 8 different players score tonight, and that is one of the biggest things that they could have done for themselves.
Compared to 3 last
time these two teams met up. Mick Willis gets a little bit of a foul as a shove comes from Lincoln Holmes. Just a little hand on the back.
And you can see Phoenix just feeds off of emotion. And when he's hot, I mean, he might have to carry them back into the game with under 4 minutes now. We're just, 19-point game, now 18. Gets to 17 here. I think with about 2 minutes, you've got to have this thing down into 11. So that gives them two minutes to cut it down to the 5 or 6 points. 57-40 now. So it's a 17-point game. And how about this, Kate?
And a turnover.
They get a turnover here. So a basket here could get this thing to 14. But at 2 minutes, it's got to be 9, 10, or 11 for them to have a chance.
Phoenix drives in, and a charge is the call.
Cody, I don't know if we can see this again, but this one will be interesting. They've called quite a few of these. The hardest play in the game. Well, we get the tail end of it.
The tail end, yeah.
Lincoln Holmes seems to be liking as we see him do the break dancing and then into the clap. But
so Phoenix McWillis just gets.
It's a tough one.
That is a tough call. Eli Allred goes into the corner to Mortensen, back to Allred. Allred wanted that, but he knows that they need to run time, so he keeps it in his hands, doesn't pull that trigger. He swings it to Jones.
Yep, clock is your friend right now. Only take wide open shots, maximize the shot clock. Probably get it to a guy like Eli Allred here to try and create, or even Boston Holbrook with a screen and roll.
And it's Allred who will pull the deep three. No good as the shot clock hits 0. Mick Willis gets the rebound. 57-40, just over 3 minutes to play here. Thunder lead. Mick Willis for 3, no good. Allred with the rebound.
Chomp had to be a little careful there. It looked like he almost got him for the foul.
Allred drives in, pulls it back out to Holbrook.
Smart play by Holbrook there.
It's Lincoln Holmes up top. He'll take the 3. No good offensive boards. Chom Jones will take the 3, and he gets it to go.
And I don't hate to say that I'm right, Caden, but that's number 8. We talked about it in the keys to the game, getting to that magic number of 3s, and that should do it up 20. with 2.5 left and a turnover here by
the
Crimson.
Mustangs just throw the ball away
And
there.
just too many turnovers tonight for them. I think when you look back at that 14-15 turnovers in a 32-minute game, it's just too many missing possessions.
Well, one of the biggest things here is Jordan Eaton hasn't scored since the first quarter. When your leading scorer hasn't really gotten anything going tonight, that's also going to be really tough for you. As Holbrook with the ball up top, has an open lane, kicks it out to Allred, who takes the three, no good.
It was a great look, though.
Offensive board, though, bounce went their way. The Thunder have had a few of those. Chom Jones pulls the three again.
It looks like probably 3 seconds.
3 seconds is the call. It will be Mustang basketball.
And Taven Morton says, come on, guys, somebody's got to shoot it. I'll get the rebound, but can somebody shoot it, please? You love to see the unselfishness, the working the ball around. That's been a difference for these guys compared to the other night that they played each other.
Up top with it is Phoenix McWillis. Swinging the ball around now. Scoop. Back up to Phoenix. He takes a step back, drives in, kicks out. Eaton takes the three, and it's good. Jordan Eaton back on the board with the U First Credit Union three-pointer.
Must have heard you all the way up in the booth say you hadn't scored this half.
Lincoln Holmes on the drive, goes up strong, and an offensive foul is the call. Lincoln Holmes picks up his third.
Maybe too little, too late. 60-43, 128 in the fourth. You can see some of the fans starting to file out. They feel like they've seen what they came to see, as it looks like a predominantly Desert Hills favoring crowd.
Yeah, 120 left to go. 60-43, the Thunder lead. Jordan Eaton catches the ball on the elbow, kicks out Barbin for three. Off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound Mortensen. Taven Mortensen bringing it the other way for the Thunder. An open lane, drives in, kicks out. Swinging the ball around the horn now as Holmes drives, and a travel.
I don't know. Can we see that, Cody? I'm curious. Might as well use one more shot at the instant replay. Okay, we're going to get this one, folks. Oh, you had it there for a second. Hang on. See if you can go back one more time. Nope. Oh, now we're all the way back to Boston.
Hurricane games. Hey. Up top with it. Scoop. Mid-range. 15-footers. Good.
It gets it to 15 with under a minute. It'll just be a pass around fest now for Desert Hills. Maybe one more shot as there's about 6 seconds difference.
Yep, 30 seconds left on the clock. 22 on the shot. Holbrook. In control, picked up by Houston Johnson. Into the corner now is Allred. And the Thunder will get the win here. This is a big win for them this season. In 3 seconds on the clock. Boston will put up something just to get the shot clock from going off on them. And McWillis, hey, it gets us our house of jump dunk as he puts a dunk down to round it out. So the final tonight. The Thunder get the win 60-47. Phoenix McWillis with a little bit of a frustrated dunk there at the end. It does, though, however, give you an hour of free jump time over at the House of Jump. All you have to do is text the word dunk to 833-644-2423. You get an hour of free jump time at House of Jump. Again, Thunder get the win 60-47 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. We will take a 2-minute break. When we come back, hop into the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry postgame show. Stick around here on the Fan Sports Network.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Utah is growing, and we're growing too. What started on the U of U campus has grown to over 110,000 members with 20 locations, and we're ready to meet even more of you. More than a campus or a branch, we are Utah's teachers, businesses, and families. For over 65 years, we've been part of your community, and while our name is changing, our commitment to you is not. University Credit Union is now You First Credit Union. See why it's getting even better here. Welcome to You First.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom highlighting the cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Grill right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Desert Hills Thunder get the win at home over the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs, 60-47. Welcome into the Johnson Pediatrics postgame show. See why so many parents choose Johnson's for their kids' dental needs. Call for the new patient special, 656-0511. Well, Ben, this game was definitely one of those where the Thunder hit every single one of the keys to the game that we asked them to hit, and it led to a commanding 13-point win.
Made us look pretty good, and it looks like we maybe knew what we were talking about, but we can't take much credit. They executed from top to bottom, from start to finish. Throw in what other explanation you want. Desert Hills came out, started with that chomp three, and although it finished with the Phoenix McWillis dunk, it certainly was Desert Hills throughout the game.
It was all Desert Hills all the way, and you kind of look at the scoring breakdown here. The only quarter where Crimson outscored the Thunder was the last quarter, and it was only 16-13, right? So it wasn't much, but you look back to that second where Desert Hills had 18 points, leaving Crimson with only 6. And that kind of a scoring breakdown, it just does not help in your favor for Crimson when you have such a low first half. And a really solid performance from Desert Hills that was quite consistent throughout the entire game.
Well, yeah, and if you look at the stat sheet, we talked about it in the pregame. We talked about it throughout the game. Desert Hills only had 3 people score against Crimson the first time around, and tonight they have 8 players in the scoring column, and a couple in double figures with Eli Allred with 13 and Lincoln Holmes with a standout performance, 22. And then you look over at Crimson, and you look at that total where they get 47, but it's, you know, Houston Johnson only with 3. He's played really good the last 2 weeks. That's uncharacteristic. And then you got Sean Feltz with only 4. He's usually getting about 6 to 8. And then Still Barbin, who's had a couple really big games scoring-wise, only has 2 when he's usually that 8 to 9 as well. Phoenix McWillis was 17. Certainly he was the offensive focus for that game. And then Jordan Eaton with 13. He had 10 in the first quarter, 3 throughout the last 3, but they only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 6 players, but those final 2 only get 2 and 3 and 4. Really, right. Just not enough.
It is. You're right. It's just not quite enough there, and it does lead to a loss for Crimson Cliffs, and see if they can bounce back next week. But before we get into that, let's start handing out some awards, shall we, Ben?
I love it.
Let's start things off with one of my favorites, the Jersey Mike's sub of the game. And I have to tell you, Ben, I actually stopped at Jersey Mike's before the game, so I was fueled up. with the Jersey Mike's Philly.
You seemed on point tonight.
You know, it was all. I'm giving the credit to Jersey Mike's.
I love the Philly, but I love the cold subs because I like to do it Mike's way.
Oh, I like that too.
Put the oil, put the vinegar, put the sauces, put the seasoning, put the onions and the tomatoes.
Yeah, I ran into one of our Region 10 athletes over there as well.
Okay.
Dixie football player who said, "Hey, you interviewed me back on media day for football," and I said, "Yes, I did actually."
Okay.
He's like, "Yeah,
All
I remember you." So shout out to Dave over there at Jersey Mike's who hooked me up. So let's get into it. Jersey Mike's sub of the game. I like to go towards, again, a lot of these Desert Hills players coming off the bench hit some big threes, but there's one player that did more than just threes, and a lot of it was rebounding. Taven Mortensen was everywhere tonight and spent a lot of time on the court just because he was getting offensive and defensive boards.
And even that three hit, Crimson kind of felt like maybe they could creep back in. I think it was 16-17, and it was going the other way, and he hits that big three, gets all of those offensive rebounds and some great defense for Taven as well. I'm all about that. Give him the Jersey Mike's super sub of the game.
And as a matter of fact, as you mentioned, he's the one that hit that big three that led to that timeout and really kind of the nail in the coffin, so to speak. And as you mentioned at the time, and I think I can agree with you, let's go to our Appliance Wholesaler Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. Appliance Wholesalers Plus, your playmakers in the appliance industry. I think that three alone probably locks it in for that. Not a lot of big flashy plays. Boston Holbrook had a few around the basket, but really it was that three by Mortensen who comes in off the bench and hits that key shot right at the right moment to just say, you know what, let's just put this game to the side and move on.
It was certainly trending for Desert Hills. That one was the nail in the coffin. I like it. Give it to the kid 2 in a row. Not very often we get the 2. Don't think we're going to give him, well, I don't know. See, we got the defensive play. We got the Morgan Pest Control defensive player of the game, or play of the game.
The Morgan Pest Control defensive play of the game, I'm going to head over to the Crimson Cliff side, and Phoenix McWillis had one just monster block.
He had a
couple. I don't know if we can discredit those. Even though he might have been on the losing team, he might have still gotten the Morgan Pest Control defensive play.
I feel good about that one. He had some great blocks. Probably one of the leading block guys in the region. Maybe a Kyle Lemke up there. Maybe even a guy like Owen Mackey or Sean Feltz has had some big blocks. But Phoenix McWillis, my guess is at the end of the day, is one of the top 2 or 3 blocks leaders in the region.
Now, speaking of Dixie, by the way, some of our finals from around the region tonight brought to you by Nets on Fire. Dixie does beat Pineview 65-42. And Snow Canyon, after a really close game, it was only a 1-point game at the end of the third quarter. Snow Canyon gets the win over Cedar 66-61.
Wow.
So the winner,
give Cedar credit. Again, they got beat by 30 on Wednesday night by Crimson. Crimson turns around, gets beat by, 13, but Cedar gives a very good Snow Canyon team a run for the money, and it looks like they were trading blows there towards the third quarter and fourth quarter. And Snow Canyon, with a guy like Owen Mackey, you're never really out of a game, and you're always a threat when you got a guy that can fill it up like that.
So let's move on now, Ben, to some of our final awards. Let's get to our Hearst Ace Hardware Player of the Game. And tonight, when you look at the stat sheet, yeah, you know what? There's one player that really sticks out from the rest, scoring in every single quarter, Lincoln Holmes. It's so easy to be able to call him the player of the game, and that's just because he's so commanding, and he keeps the team in control. Where, yeah, he scored 22 of the 60, but he's so consistent with making sure that the team is doing what they're doing as well, and is a good leader. And tonight he showed that leadership with his 22 points.
Yeah, he was a lot more aggressive tonight, and it seemed like they got him into his spots. He did a great job of using the jab step and the rocker step to perfection. And then if you got a guy to put his hands down, he said hand down, man down, and knocked down the 3. And so, look, that's a guy that he is very difficult to guard. but you love his aggressive style tonight. 22 points. He scores a third of Desert Hill's total points and almost half of what Crimson puts on the board total. No argument for me. Lincoln Holmes, great job tonight.
I like it. Well, with that, again, we appreciate you joining us here on our Boulevard Home Game of the Week. The next one coming to you Wednesday night, so stick around for that schedule coming out on the fansportsnetwork.com. And from all of us here at Desert Hills High School, we have Cody with us back in the Findlay Hyundai studio, Rory, for Ben and myself, Caden Formaster. We appreciate you stopping by tonight. Have a good one.